What's up, everybody? King Triple C here, the Olympic champion, flyweight champion, the bantamweight champion of the world. And I got a public service announcement to all you wannabe MMA casuals or MMA fans for that reason. You guys make sure to listen to my boy Story of the Fight with Will and Miro.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Ramiro. That is my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we're going to be covering UFC 326 and possibly a disappointing card. I don't know, Will. We'll get into it, okay?
Talking about that or the White House card?
Well, we'll get into a little bit of all of it. But before we do, I want to remind everybody to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. But if you don't like watching on YouTube and you don't like looking at pictures that we're referencing, if you don't like watching live clips as we talk about it like a weirdo, then you have other ways to tune in, right, Will?
Yes. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found if you just want the audio. But like Ramiro said, we show pictures, we show clips, we show people in the live chat. Shout out to Austin already
Shout out
here.
Austin.
The gentleman.
Hey,
we got Blunderbug already here. Once again, UFC fans proving they're the worst. Look, that's what you get when you're here for the live stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, be in the live chat. You get to be part of the show. We'll talk about the fights. You get to talk about them with us. But otherwise, if you just want the audio, Apple podcast, YouTube podcast, Spotify, all that stuff. And then follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everywhere. Story of the Fight is the handle. Storyofthefight.com will list everything, including our merch page, but all of our socials that I just mentioned. You can click through, hit follow, and chat with us outside of the live streams as well.
Literally Story of the Fight everywhere.
Story of the Fight.
What was the thing that you said you just signed up for?
Who knows?
Was it a new one? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever there is, I'm on there.
If there's any new social media that pops up, Will signs up for it.
Yes.
Now, are we active on there?
Ooh.
I don't know. But
hey, we're close to 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Hey, baby, steady climbing.
Hey, also, I got Team Rhonda. What are we talking about? Misha Tate shares our reel on
hey, Misha, lose my number.
But she won't collab with it, and then she blocks out our URL, but it's cool enough to post, I guess. Come on. Team Rhonda.
Number, Misha. Anyways, hey, let's get into it. UFC 326. Well, we're not going to be covering a ton of fights on this card. I think we're going to spend some decent time on the main event.
Yes, we're going to skip a lot.
We can get right into it, right?
If we're going to skip a lot, so if you're not watching this live, there's going to be timestamps below.
Yes, 100%. We had Holloway versus Oliveira. It was the main event going into this. Is this the end of the BMF title? At least the attractiveness of the BMF title. Let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about why the BMF handle or the BMF belt came about, right? Mm-hmm. You had George Masvidal.
George.
Yeah, dude. I call him George, okay?
Okay.
George Masvidal, dude. And you had Diaz,
yes.
Right?
Well, Nate created it in the post-fight interview, right? He was the one that was like, I want to fight for the baddest motherfucker belt. Give me Jorge Masvidal. And you're like, oh, shit, that's sick.
And, dude, do you remember when they pan over to George, too? What fight was it? When he was in the crowd and then he, like, looks over and he's, like, giving the thumbs up, like, dude, I want that fight.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, Will, there's two reasons that the BMF belt came about, right? One, Dana said, hey, this is a title, but this is for, like, fights that fans want to see. Like,
yeah,
and whoever wins is, like, the baddest motherfucker. Okay, get it. Then you also have the business side of it where it's like, well, if we're going to have these folks headlining these cards, we got to have more at stake, right? Like, we're not going to tell ESPN, like, hey, these guys are going to be the main event, but it's not for a title. So let's toss a BMF belt in there. And now you're able to say, hey, it's for a title.
Yeah. But did they get pay-per-view points, I wonder? I don't know.
Dude. So
well, not anymore for sure.
This is how it all came about, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you had some good fights. Most recently, you had Holloway before this one, Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, where they just throw down, man.
Well, I think that was the only good one.
What was the one before that?
let me look up all of them. The first one, like you said, was obviously Nate versus Masvidal. Pretty horrible, right? It was just like, okay, this didn't need to happen. Nate was past his prime. Jorge was clearly way bigger than him. He just kind of beat the brakes off of him. And then we got Poirier versus Gaethje. That's pretty sick. That was pretty cool. That was with the head kick knockout from Gaethje. Very cool. And then you got Gaethje versus Holloway, which was pretty fucking awesome also. Maybe I'm eating my words here.
Dude, but so you have like the build up for the BMF title continues building up with some of these amazing fights. And then you get Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway, right? Two, yes. First one at this weight class.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, and exactly. Should be a banger. Two of the most violent individuals in the UFC. Mm-hmm. So it's safe to say that this was a fight that fans wanted to see, right?
Yeah, this was going into this card. A lot of people were like, "It's a pretty weak card. It's pretty much held up. It's like propped up by one fight, basically, and it's a good fucking fight." That's what people were saying going into it.
Yes. Yes, and now we get to the fight
on Drew Dober's name, by the way, going into this card.
Clearly, one of the best chins, one of the best chins in the biz, dude.
Yes,
but let's talk about this fight now, right? So you have Oliveira versus Holloway 2. Early on, was your thoughts going into this? Well, like, hey, they're gonna be swinging and banging, or what did you think going in?
I thought Oliveira would stand and trade with him until he got clipped pretty good, and then he would shoot. I didn't know what would happen after that, but I thought he has that in his back pocket. Max doesn't really have that in his back pocket. He wants to, stand and trade with this guy the entire fight.
Did we lose Will?
This motherfucker, dude. Every time, bro.
It's gonna start again. Huh?
Anyways, yeah, we're gonna do this all night. Okay, but anyways, like I said, I think he had that in his back pocket, and I didn't expect him to go to it so quick, especially when I thought he was winning on the feet.
Dude, this is the thing, right? Like, look, fans are going bananas, dude, online, whether it's Reddit, just all the socials and everything, and they're just ripping this fight apart, saying this isn't what a BMF fight is supposed to be about. They should change the rules on the BMF title. It should just absolutely just be stand-up only. Look, at the end of the day, the BMF title is still an MMA fight. At the end of the day, which means wrestling, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, you name it. You know what MMA is. It's still an MMA fight.
Here's the way I see it. I thought Charles. Look, this wasn't super entertaining, and obviously I want to see a fight between, at this stage, Oliveira and Max, where they just fucking go to war, right, with their striking. Obviously I want to see that, of course. That being said, Charles just straight manhandling him. Those takedowns from the clinch were nasty. Every time each round they start standing and he's clipping Max, like
ragdolling him.
Not just ragdolling him, but lighting him up with his hands too.
Yes,
and
100%.
Then it was a fantastic display of striking into takedowns, taking someone down, taking their back, threatening submissions, landing nasty elbows. He mauled him. He never got the finish, and obviously people were upset because the connotation behind the BMF belt being on the line is like, hey, these guys are going to go to war, and it's just, but it's one of those things where it's like, I can't ask these guys to, I saw someone say it and they're like, certain fighters have put in their dues and are allowed to have a safe fight or a more boring fight because they've delivered so much excitement throughout their career. And Charles is one of those guys. He's paid in full, like Dustin Poirier, right? Like, he has put in the exciting fights. His championship run, I was just talking to Brian about this earlier today. He was getting dropped. He got dropped in all those championship fights and still got the finish after. Like, do you think he wants to do that every fight? No. But he did that for us. He did that for he was kill or be killed for a long time. And, he's done it. He's done it.
Hey, shout out, not CCG, thanks for joining us. It says Charles fought the Ilya fight like it was a BMF fight, and the Max fight like it was an undisputed fight.
That's actually a good. I haven't seen that take. That's actually a solid take.
Right.
And one thing to consider that I do want to point out is a lot of people are saying like, oh, he got ragdolled, but that's because Max isn't a real lightweight, and they're forgetting that Charles was also a featherweight, and they both came up, and I would say that Charles looked bigger in there than Max.
Didn't he?
But at the same time, those same takedowns, which Charles is very good at. Charles has done these takedowns to a lot of people. Those clinch, the judo trips and stuff from the clinch it is beautiful to see. He could not do that to Ilya, who also came up from featherweight. Those same takedowns did not work against Ilya. In fact, on one of them, Ilya reversed him and ended up on top. So it's like, some people are writing it off as like, of course he did that because Max really is a featherweight and he's just way bigger than him. No, he's just really fucking good. Like,
what does that say about Ilya?
Ilya's also very good.
Right, I was thinking that earlier today. I was like, God. So my son has a baseball tournament earlier today, and these are the things I think about as I'm driving to the baseball tournament.
Yeah,
I'm legit thinking like, God, what does that mean about Ilya Topuria and how good he is? Austin saying Charles played it safe. That's not the point of the belt. The BMF belt is about pure entertainment, and he did little over 5 rounds of pure control, and none of the subs were fight ending disappointing. I'll say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll say this, right? Again, the fight, the bout is still an MMA fight, so it can go on the ground. Either way, right? I do agree that it wasn't the most entertaining BMF fight. It was still impressive, nonetheless. Yes. Very much like when Hamza Chimaev impressed me with how dominant he was in his performance. This impressed me from Oliveira as well. That being said, I do think it wouldn't be a bad idea if the UFC were to keep the belt around to change your rule set a little bit.
If you're going to do it, we might as well go full on, go pride mode or something. 10-minute first round, stand and bait, 4 ounce Muay Thai rules or some shit. You know, like if you want to market it like that, they shouldn't be able to force a fighter to fight recklessly. You know what I mean? Just because they decided to put a belt on the line for a main event because they couldn't get a title fight. You know what I mean? Like that's not the fighter's responsibility.
Yes,
to fight more, more recklessly, put their health on the line to go kill or be killed. And that being said, with 5 seconds left, you can see it on the clock, 5 seconds left, they both point down and you're like, oh shit, this is really Max's only shot at this point, right? It's these 5 seconds if he sleeps them. But do you want to see what happened? Do you want to watch what happened instead?
Yeah, let's see.
Shout out to the UFC for posting stuff on Instagram from Cage Side so we can show it. But let's see what happened when they pointed down with 5 seconds left.
Hopefully it doesn't make the stream crash again. Jeez, it's been awful recently. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
And the clinch breaks away, points down.
Left hook, right hand, bam.
Big right hand from Oliveira. Oh, and a big right hand from Max to end it.
Land on the shoulder though.
But Oliveira, watch the left. Watch Oliveira didn't have to break the clinch,
and he put it down first.
Yeah. He's like, all right, here we go. Let's do this. And he's like,
left hook, right hand. Oh, nasty. So it's like even though he fought, I mean, he was up. Those are like, look at that left hand, and then the right hand behind it.
Oh, I mean, nice.
He didn't need to do that. A fight he was winning up every round.
Hey, look at Mark Zuckerberg just all happy in the background watching this.
Oh no, he's still eating himself alive when they showed him on the camera and the whole crowd booed, and he looked over to somebody who was like, "Hey, booing," and he looked back and had to pretend like he wasn't sad about it.
Oh.
Brutal stuff, man.
Let me see. I believe there was something else that came through from not CCG. I'm surprised that for the 2 minutes it was on the feed, Charles was actually winning the exchanges. Yeah, like we said earlier,
good,
he was looking very good. Charles all around had Max beat.
But and Austin, to your point, you said I think takedowns are fine. You just have to prioritize subs or damage over control. He had great neck cranks for 2 first rounds, but then it was all control. I don't know, dude. He was landing nasty. Those 12-6 elbows from the elbows back are nasty, dude. Those are nasty. Like, and part of that is because Max is also nullifying his game. So like it's back and forth, right? Like we know Charles is a finisher on the ground. It's just I think oh yeah, blunderbuff. It was not all control. I saw some disgusting downward elbows too. Yeah. I think it takes 2 to tango, and it's hard to submit somebody if they're very good at defending those submissions. And people have complained about Max not being able to get out of the body triangle, but it's because Charles is landing these nasty elbows and going from those nasty elbows to submission attempts back and forth. You cannot address the lock. You have to defend. You have to defend those strikes or the submissions, unless or you're gonna get caught. So it makes it so it's not super entertaining or back and forth and all this stuff. And I know there's a lot of Max fans that are disappointed, obviously, but yeah, it's just tough. It's it didn't help.
What?
Fucking the Paramount stream going black screen for 2 minutes of the third round for me.
Oh yeah.
What the hell was that, man? And not one reporter asked about it because I was like, was that just me or too many people using my Paramount account? But then it went black for you. It went black for George. It went black for Coleslaw. I think Genevieve messaged that it went black for her. I look on Twitter. All the reporters are like, what the fuck just happened? It's all black for me. Not one of them asked them about it in the post-fight press conference. Hey, the main event, we lost 2 minutes of it to a black screen. What was that about? Are they going to make sure that doesn't happen again? Not one question about it. Instead, it was fucking some bullshit.
Yeah. Also, hey, Charles' dad, stop trying to hog camera time, okay?
I think he legitimately
popping his head in as much as he could.
He's like trying to figure out how to put the belt on him.
Yeah. And then when he's like, no, put the belt on. He's like, here it is, dude. Just put it on your shoulder, right, bro?
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Yeah, not impressed by his dad's performance at all. At all. It is what it is, dude.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I heard a take which said the BMF belt should rotate divisions to keep it fresh. I like that. I'm not mad at that.
Hey, so I saw this after Not CCG posted it. I mean, you have like the flyweight division.
Look,
that has a bunch of killers. The bantamweight division. Oh my god, dude.
Every division has that. Those guys that you could do it with. Like. Because the BMF belt, it's like usually for guys that either were champs or they lost their opportunities to become champs because they're kind of like,
like, would you want to see Gene Silver versus Yair Rodriguez for a BMF belt?
I wouldn't say Yair has earned the right to it, but, give me like, who do we got? We got, Benoit Saint-Denis is somebody who could fight for the BMF belt.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Dan Hooker, I think, is one of those guys as well. Yeah, so some of those guys who are just willing to trade, obviously
that's in that same division though. I'm talking like different divisions. If the belt were to rotate into different,
lightweight's just a savage division, is what it is.
Dude, it really is.
If Yujiri loses his title fight next, maybe he's someone who could be Prohaska. I think he's worth doing a BMF belt.
Give me Colby Covington versus Gilbert Burns at welterweight for the BMF title.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Well,
hey, real quick before he's got to go, Ghost. Shout out to Ghost. Says can't stay long. That was the worst card since the last worst card. God, it's tough these days, man.
In your mind, though, Will, is the BMF belt dead now?
Is it dead? No, because the UFC is unable to consistently match make these days, so they're gonna have to pull it out again. And they'll say this time it'll be different. Trust us, please.
Yeah.
Dude, says, I know it's an old joke now, but they were having some PFL level production problems. Yeah,
the lighting.
We'll talk. The house lights just shutting off during the fight. Cutting to the.
They said something then. DC was like, "Why are the lights doing that?"
Yeah, like, not for a good reason. But I will say the reason I'm wearing this hat right now is because a lot of people who watched this fight and were disappointed disappointed with it. And Austin, you can back me up on this one. A lot of people who were disappointed with this fight need to understand they want 4-ounce Muay Thai. They just don't know it exists, or they haven't found it yet, or whatever. But those people who were anybody disappointed with this fight, who if they like combat sports and they're like, this is going to be so cool. Oh, this wasn't what I wanted. What you do want happens every single Friday, and it's free on YouTube.
I've actually posted on a lot of social media, with a lot of people talking shit, saying we don't want to watch a 25-minute grappling match. And I'm like, well, then go to one. Like, just go to one championship.
Every week. Every week there's some guys who deliver BMF level fights.
Nothing better, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta get the hat.
We can move on.
Yes,
To
we will
the
move on. But yeah,
co-main
let us know
event.
if you guys are watching this. Let us know what you think. Do you think BMF is over? Do you think they killed it with this one, or do you think it's water under the bridge? They'll get to the next one and it'll be back again. Just let us know. Come on.
Yeah. So we'll go on to the next fight. We had the co-main event. Big question on this one. Is the hype train completely derailed now? We had Caio Borralho versus RDR, Reinier de Ridder.
Yeah, it's tough goes, huh? Yeah, are people still hyped for RDR? I think it was at first they weren't when he came over because they didn't promote him at all, even though he was, multiple champs over at one. He comes over, zero hype, and all of a sudden he strings together a good run. He takes out Robert Whitaker, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, this guy is real." And then 5 fights in a calendar year, his body breaks down mid-fight in Brendan Allen. In the Brendan Allen fight, he loses, and then hype dies down a little bit. Comes back for this one. What do you guys think? Because not CG says RDR looked like he was underwater the whole fight.
Kind of the same way in his last fight.
He kind of always has.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, is his game pretty much like, hey, I'm extremely durable. I'm gonna try to wear somebody down, and hopefully you just get more exhausted than I'm exhausted. I'm able to get you down to the ground and hopefully submit you. Is that his game?
Kinda, and he's one of the things he's had a lot of success with in the UFC, particularly, is when he's fighting, he can crash into guys with his knees because he's so long, and he'll crash into you with that knee and over and over and over again until you're winded as well. And now you're fighting like you're underwater, but that's his game. Like Bane said, he was born in the darkness. RDR was born underwater. You know what I mean? So if he stabs your gut with that knee enough times to where you're fighting underwater, you're like, "Oh shit, my arms don't work." And RDR is like, "Mine never worked, but I'm used to it." You know what I mean? But Borralho said, and they talk about the fight IQ, the fighting nerves, all this stuff. He's like, that doesn't work against another southpaw. The knee's not there to land on the liver against a southpaw. If I was orthodox, that slot's there. It's not here for me. And he fought well, but I will say he was getting hit with these big shots, RDR was, but he was never at any point out of this fight. He never looked like he was really ever hurt. I think he reacts pretty bad to some of these shots. And like you said, he's tough as nails. So he's tanking these shots. I mean, a lot of these would have put someone down.
Both you and Blunderbub are in sync. He says RDR suffers from a problem of overreacting to strikes too.
Oh, yeah.
You all said at the exact same time.
Yes. I will say RDR's jab looked much better than I've seen in the past. When he started pumping that jab, part of it is to do with, look at where Borralho's hands are just in this picture. But
that's pretty much the entire fight. His hands were down the entire fight.
But man, he was jabbing him up. He was jabbing him up to the point where it seemed like every round, and maybe this is to the same point of once you start fighting underwater, he's used to it. But the second half of every round, RDR started inching his way back. The first half of each round, he was like getting hit and wobbling around from these big punches. Then the second half, he starts clinching him up against the cage and then like slowing him down, making him pummel. And then they separate. And he's getting that jab going and he starts to even the striking numbers. But I think the impact was never the same. Like there was no big reactions from any real shots from Borralho, except for a couple. So the optics of it look a lot worse, But he was never like out of this fight, I don't think. I mean, look at this pic. That's a great shot right there. That's a good punch that landed,
Yeah, just something bugs me about him.
Damn, you gonna do him like that?
I don't know what it is. He seems like a nice guy. By the way, I actually watched the embedded for the UFC 326. Yeah, hilarious, dude. When they go and they're hiking into the hot springs and they run into these, he goes, "There's a bunch of drunk people here." Like when he sees the hot springs full, and a couple of people recognize him, they're like, "Oh my god, dude!" He seems super chill. But the way he fights, something bugs me about the way he fights. I don't know what it is.
I like it, man. It's different. He's got his own style. It's very different.
It's provocative.
It gets people going. There was one time, I think the first time I ever saw him like in America, he went to a shooting range and like he's like holding a gun, and all the clips of him like looking at the camera with the gun, because like that's a very American thing, and he just, the way he was like posing with it and stuff was so funny. I was like, this guy's hilarious.
Dude, Borralho, by the way, Fighting Nerds looks like such an awesome camp, dude. Like such an awesome group.
You know what's weird though? The glasses they wear with the tape,
Yeah.
they look like the Meta glasses, right?
Are they the Meta?
They're not. He even walked out with the Meta Oakleys to record the walk, and I was like, put on the regular ones and put the tape on it, and now you got double branding going. You know?
Nah, dude, it makes it overheat.
Where's the camera? Is the camera here in the middle, or is it on the side?
No, it's on the side.
Then what are we doing?
One
You
of them's a
should've
light,
walked
one of
down
them's
with- Come on,
No,
Mark
dude, it
was
makes
there.
him
What are you
overheat.
doing, Mark? Pay me, Mark. Come on.
No, they're gonna start booing you too, dude, if you go to the fights.
Yeah,
That'd be all
Damn.
bad. All right.
Yeah, the glasses.
Anything else on this one?
No, but I also think RDR should take a little bit more time off too. Like he had like crazy like low red blood cells or something. He like had to go to the doctor because after the last fight, he was like, my body just shut down. I think the 5 weight cuts in a
He's
year was
trying
horrible.
to make that money while he can, bro. He
I
said,
know.
he's finally making a decent amount of cash over here with the UFC now. So I think he's just trying to rack it up.
I mean, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him. All right. We'll move on. Again, we're going to be skipping a lot of fights just due to the quality of fights, I guess you
Yes.
could say. And we're going to move on. Is this the best chin in the business? In many different ways. Look at that jawline, dude. The
Yeah.
jawline's fantastic. But dude could take a punch as well. And we're talking about Drew Dober going up against Michael Johnson. This one, I had circled going into this one.
Yes.
This one, I was like, I am excited for this one. Anytime Drew Dober is on TV, he's must-watch TV. Michael Johnson as well with this recent resurgence, if you want to call it. So going into this, I was like, this isn't going the
No.
entire
This is gonna
entire
be
3 rounds.
This is a killer be killed fight for sure. And you want to watch
BMF?
what happens?
This should have been a BMF fight.
This is a BMF type fight for sure.
Oh my
let's
God.
watch it though.
Okay, here we go. Boom, boom. Look at the way he steps into that left.
Dude, and the follow-up shot. Let's watch it again.
Boom, boom. He kind of sets it up with that right, but really he was looking to come in with that left the entire time. And the way he steps into it, look at boom.
Well, you see the way, watch the lead leg of Dober, the way he kind of like skips into it. Watch this. Oh, man, it's nasty because that hop skip is the same hop skip he uses to throw that leg kick throughout the whole fight. He's throwing that leg kick. And a lot of guys do that, like Dan Henderson, when he would throw the H-bomb, right? A lot of that was off the inside leg kick. He'd just skip up with that lead leg kick. And then, but every once in a while, he'd flick it and just use that as a distance covering hop and then step through and throw that big rear hand. And that's what Dober did. It's fucking awesome, man. So
amazing.
Sick. But a good fight up until that.
Very good fight up until that. And the thing is with Michael Johnson too, he still has a speed. He still has a power. So you just never know with Michael Johnson. But there's always that thing with Michael Johnson where it doesn't matter how good he's doing in the beginning of the fight. It could be a 5-round main event on a fight night, and he could be doing good for 4.5 rounds and get caught like that.
Dude, yeah. Well, he fights massive punchers. Like the guys they put Michael Johnson up against hit hard as fuck, dude. Like he really does fight power punches all the time. This was another cool thing that Dober was doing was throwing to the body a lot, which obviously helps land the same exact punch up top. So I wanted to show that too in the slideshow.
Not CCG saying, if I remember correctly, the betting lines were moving crazy before this fight.
Yes, a lot of sports books pulled this fight for the betting, and Dana said, who knows, because Dana's a fucking liar, but he said,
"Whoa,
that,
dude!
Hey, man, he's a fucking liar, bro.
That's fucking illegal."
But yeah, they moved a lot. So a lot of betting casinos, sports books pulled it. Dana said the FBI or somebody outside the UFC looked into it and deemed like, no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Fine.
I believe.
Look at these pictures, man. Shout out to Jeff Batari and Chris Unger because like phenomenal photos of this. And Cooper.
Hey, good stuff when they have more than one photographer.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God, that shot. Go back.
Kerry Hatley a mile away.
Dude,
for this one.
might be the worst ref in the game right now, dude.
This was not needed, this punch, but Kerry Hatley's still a mile away in this picture.
God.
Wait, hold on. I want to see the video again. So
we can see where Hatley is.
Let's watch Kerry Hatley and his where he comes from.
He's on the opposite.
Dude, it takes him so long to get there, man.
Oh, Hatley, I love it. All right. Anything else on that fight?
No. Shout out to both those guys. They're both cool as fuck. Drew Dober's nice as hell.
Yeah.
We
Dude,
talked
the lead
to
up
Drew
to
Dober a couple times.
So awesome.
So
right?
wholesome.
So wholesome. Super
Just
nice
two
to each other.
OGs.
Dude, you know what's a little alarming though?
What's that?
Michael Johnson's now 24-20.
Oh my God. That is wild.
Pretty
He's so
close
good.
to a coin flip.
Yeah, and he's so good. I mean, look at the guys he's
Austin says if
beating.
he dies, he dies. Yeah, that's what Hatley's thinking as he's on the opposite end of the octagon, dude, and they're just trading blows. Oh man. But yeah, 24-20. How much longer does Michael Johnson have? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
But man, like you said, a lot of people say the power's the last thing to go. Michael Johnson still has some fucking speed, though. It's crazy. His hand speed is some of the slickest.
Blunderbuss said Evie thought Dober was a sweetie.
He is a sweetie, dude.
He's a sweetie pie.
We've talked to Dober a couple times, like just through DMs and stuff, and he's a very, very nice guy. Incredibly
very nice individual.
Yeah,
very nice individual.
Cool as hell. He's like a gamer and shit. He like not just a gamer. He likes good games.
Stop, Will. Don't make me fall in love with this guy anymore. Okay.
I know. Hold on. Pull up a picture of the guy's jawline.
All right, let's move on. We had Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues versus Brunno Ferreira. Dude, going into this, same thing. Embedded. I'm watching this dude training at Kill Cliff. Absolute monster. Power in that right hand. Look at that.
Big time puncher. And he learned some restraint. Puncher. Remember when he knocked out Jack Hermanson? He just walked over and dropped a hammer on him. We're like, that was not needed.
Yeah.
This time, instead of dropping the hammer, he just put his hands up. Like, come on, guys. Did you think anything else?
Okay, look at that step back, allowing Ferreira to get in closer. Boom, that right hand perfectly timed. And he's like, I don't know. He just came at me, and this is what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
See? I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
I can't help. I got the death touch, guys.
Oh, so man. Funny. But dude, this guy's training regimen looks insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's a machine. He's a RoboCop. You know, he's RoboCop.
True.
It's
I mean, what am I expecting?
Yeah, and this was, if anybody's like, "Whoa, what this looked like?" I mean, he punched the first punch he threw, he knocked him out. Brunno Ferreira knocked him out the last time they fought. You know what I mean? Like this. Give me a trilogy, dude, because these guys both are just wrecking balls.
Ooh, not CCG wants a trilogy.
No, this fight was crazy. It didn't even look like a hard punch. She only thought, yeah, that's what I was saying. Give me a trilogy. These guys are sick as fuck.
Yeah, so and Austin talking about interesting dichotomy for the people like Dober and Adrian Lee. Like, how can you be so nice and normal outside the ring, but then absolutely murder once the bell rings? 100%. And I think he even said this too, like when he saw Michael Johnson in the back or something like that, and they're talking about like the lead up. They're like, yeah, we don't need to talk shit, man, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's like, hey, we could be nice. And they'll fuck each other up. And they just laugh and he walks away. I'm just like, what?
So good, awesome man. And by all accounts, RoboCop is also very cool and a very nice guy as well. But look how he had Brunno, dude. Why do you got to do him like that?
Oh, dude, that's rough, huh? Look, go back. Like in that picture, you can actually see Brunno looking at RoboCop. So I think he's there and he's like, oh my God. Like, I hope he doesn't have a follow-up shot, but my body's not responding right now.
I don't know, dude. I think it's, like when you die, your eyelids don't close. You know what I mean? I think this dude, he's off.
You think he's out?
I think he's off. I mean, dude. Look at the way this guy fucking fell, dude.
All right, let's see. One more time. And stepping back, and boom. Oh.
He's still moving, but I don't think he's there.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that Tagnoni?
Yeah, great stoppage, Tagnoni.
Great stoppage, Tagnoni, and also looked like Tagnoni was ready to sprawl, dude. Did you see that? Ferreira was going for his legs, not on Tagnoni. He's ready to go, dude.
Yeah,
at all times.
I can't let you get close.
All right, next fight was this one of the weirdest fights in recent times, man. We're gonna talk about Cody Garbrandt versus Xiao Long.
I don't know what the hell this was, dude. This was the craziest, bizarre. Every once in a while, you see a fight where you're like, never seen that before, and that was this, but not in a good way. This was crazy. Just a
All over the
complete
place,
shit
huh?
show.
Hey, and by the way, I was a little concerned because, dude, I've liked Cody Garbrandt for a while, especially when he was Team Alpha Male. You know how I am with the Team Alpha Male. You know what I mean? And I've been a little concerned. His chin's kind of been sus as of late.
Yeah.
Ate a head kick like
Immediately.
nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And he kept on doing this thing too the entire time where he's like dipping like hard to the bottom right.
Yeah.
Xiao Long caught him with a knee too, like right on the side of the chin. He ate that one also. Is his chin back?
Its chin might be back, honestly. That's not a bad shout. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he ate some big shots in this one. So I think the chin's good.
Yeah.
He gave some back. But then Xiao Long kicks him low and then takes some time. And then 4 seconds after they start the fight again, he kicks him low again. And
Harder.
then, yeah,
Harder
even
this
worse.
time.
And then they're like, oh, he's puking. And you're like, excuse me? What'd you say? And this dude's in the cage puking from the second low blow. And I mean,
hey, also there's a cameraman right there, bro. Get a better shot.
I know. They don't want to show this on the broadcast. I mean, he's puking, which the rules do say if somebody vomits in a fight, the fight is over. Like, it's crazy that they let this fight continue from here.
Yeah, does that include when it's on a timeout?
So the rules only say if a fighter like loses control of if he vomits, and if that happens, then they lose by TKO or medical stoppage. But if it's the result of a foul, you can't say they lost because of that, right? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's no
So
technically there's no rule that mentions during a foul. So maybe that's why they allowed it to continue. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think the most likely answer is that the athletic commissions really have no fucking clue what they're doing most of the time, and they just hope fights are clean. But bizarre, dude. And then they're about to start the fight again. And he's like barking at him. He's like, let's fucking go, dude. You fucking hit me in the Lobo multiple times, all this shit. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And you're like, oh, dude, this is crazy now. This is about to go down. We're about to see another BMF fight. And he's screaming at him and stuff. And then
the way he like ran at him and just lunged at him.
From that point on, the fight was just a fucking
Dragon Ball Z style. Both of them were off the.
Like, bro, what are these pictures, dude? Like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
The best picture sequence we've ever had on the podcast, I think.
Yeah, and this he hits him low 3 times. They take 2 points from Xiao Long in the third round. Was it third round? Yeah, third round. They end up taking 2 points away from him for low blows. The third one, honestly, they should have just DQ'd it at that point. Like, why do we need to continue this?
Oh, that's awesome. Blunderbub saying that there was actually no puking conspiracy.
I don't think he was actually puking. I have it on good authority that there was in fact puke in that bucket.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm with the conspiracy, so it's a lot funner. It's a lot more fun if we go with the conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Sure. Not CCG says Garbrandt's corner cooked the fight though. Told him to keep moving and not trade.
Yeah.
Yes. And the commentary was like, oh, Xiao Long needs a finish now. He took 2 points away. He needs a finish. And it's like, I think Xiao Long's he's won every round, in my opinion. Like, with the 2-point deductions, that's 28-27 Xiao Long. I don't think he needs to finish at all. And then Garbrandt did nothing for the rest of the third round. So I was like, well, he definitely lost that one, Garbrandt. Maybe you give him the first because he dropped him with that elbow. So maybe it's a draw. And they're like, no, Garbrandt won. And you're like, what round? And crazy scorecards. But one judge gave Garbrandt the third round where he did nothing. Like, that's crazy. First round, I guess, because of the knockdown. But outside of that knockdown, Xiao Long was kind of beating him up, especially with the high kicks and the body kicks and stuff like that. Like, I thought he chewed him up in that. I thought this is it's crazy to think he got robbed, but Yeah, I don't know.
Ultimately
Doesn't
saying,
fucking
share your
matter.
sources. Will indeed did talk to the bucket.
Yes.
The bucket confirmed.
Yes. It was actually my bucket. I let them borrow it.
All right. Anything else on that one?
No, like it was just so crazy, man.
All
So
right.
crazy.
Look, I'm gonna tee you up for these, Will.
Yeah.
And you can go through and cover them real quick. But we had Turcios versus Montes.
Yeah, Montes is a little you know, little Ilya Tapuria. You know what I mean? This dude's I think this dude's sick. And Turcios starts the fight doing Turcios things where he's just screaming and stomping and going all crazy.
His
And then
movement
just
is ridiculous. It's
yeah. And
wild.
then immediately got clipped. And it was like, all right, well, we're not doing that for the rest of this fight. Like, come on, bro. But man, Montes, young in the game and still a little rough around the edges a little bit. But dude, this guy looks like he has so much potential, just very composed, good shot selection, defensively sound. And then a specialist with anaconda chokes is fucking cool, man. We don't get a lot
Yeah.
of that.
When
Very, very cool.
as soon as he rolled
Mhm.
in Turcios' face when he was facing up, and I was like, oh, he's done.
Yeah, dude. And then he went out quick, man. He went out
Yeah, that didn't
quick,
take
quick.
long.
Montez
Was
is
that
very
Hadley?
cool. Yeah, probably. Is there any
Was
ref
that
pictures?
God?
Nope.
Is it?
Who knows?
I don't know because
Typology
I want to say
says
that they stopped the fight rather quickly, so I'm almost sure
it
it
was a good
wasn't Hadley
stoppage
then.
for sure. It was Kerry Hadley. Shout out to Kerry
Oh, okay,
Hadley.
hey, props. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. You know what I mean? So great job, Hadley.
Yeah, but
Great. Look at how
Montez.
happy he is.
Yeah,
He's like, I stopped that one on time.
yeah, I did my job, guys. And then this was earlier in the night, and he's like, "Guys, I'm killing it tonight. No one's gonna be complaining about me reffing." And then he
Vanderbilt's
was a mile
convinced you're
away.
part of the cover up, by the way, for Pewgate.
I might be. But I mean, look at this. We got 2023 first round Darce choke. His next fight was second round Anaconda choke. Next fight after that, second round Anaconda choke. Now this one. Dude has 4 submission wins in a row, all of them Darce Anaconda variations. He lost his fight before that, the one before that. Guess what he did? Another Anaconda choke.
There you go.
His last 5 wins are either Anaconda chokes or Darce chokes. That's fucking cool. And his hands look good, dude. Like this guy, I really pay
It's
attention to this guy, I think.
like Johnny Walker's brother.
Yeah,
That's
Walter
just all
Walker.
about the Walter.
Trying to heel hook dudes with no legs.
I'll do so funny. All right, let's move on.
Look it up.
Will, every once in a while, I run into a name where I'm just like, what are we doing here? And
Yeah.
so I was like, usually I see the last name. I'm like, I'll just go with the first name. Nah.
I think the last name is easier on this one.
Tumendemberel?
Tumendemberel.
Tumendemberel.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But
Tumen. Okay.
Nyamjargal
Versus Cody Durden.
Tumendemberel it's a good one though. This fight was sick actually. I actually really liked this fight. It was fun. Good counter grappling from Tumendemberel. Cody Durden has pretty decent wrestling, and he could not get anything going. Every time he shot, he was getting reversed, except for a couple times. But man, he just kept shooting, and Tumendemberel just kept reversing him and then punishing him while they were down. And I believe this fight was the one where the lights were turning off in it, which was just hilarious and then there was this shot, which I had to screenshot because like fucking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful to have this on the live broadcast. And it held for like a solid 3 or 4 seconds. And the guy was like talking to the cameraman, like, hey man, I got to get through right here. You got to move. Like, who the fuck's watching this broadcast and picking the cameras? Because that's crazy. Why would you cut to this camera?
That's awesome.
But
that is awesome.
But yeah, fun fight. Some decent fouling from Tumendemberel, so you love to see that. The guy will do what it takes to win. And then yeah, he tried to like at the end of the fight, he tried to like soccer kick him. And then he hit him with a shot after the bell. But it was a fun fight though. I actually really liked it. Tumendemberel is skilled. Blunderbup says, bro, Cameron was so pissed at that guy. They had like a full exchange and like, cut the camera, switch to somebody else. So funny. But that's the MVP of the night, I think. Give this dude a bonus. Whoever this guy is.
Well, maybe we'll cover that a little bit later. We'll see what kind of bonuses they gave out. Probably not one to that dude, but
Yeah.
that's it. Those were all the fights we're going to cover.
Mhm.
Do we have a moment of silence, Will?
Yes. Let me just switch all this up real quick. My bad, guys. It's me holding down the fort in the back end.
Rich Casual not
Yes.
able to be with us tonight.
Yes. Moment of silence. We got Renato Moicano was supposed to fight Brian T. City Ortega. Brian had to pull out. Paulo Costa was originally supposed to fight Bruno Ferreira, which would have been sick.
Would have been fun.
Dushko Todorovic was supposed to fight Dante Johnson. He pulled out, so we got Cody Brundage, who should not have taken that fight because he clearly was not clearly didn't have a camp. He gassed immediately. And then Gaston Bolaño was supposed to fight Ju Sang Yu. And then they were like, well, he couldn't make it, so let's get another guy, Zhang Young Lee. And then he steps in and he had a bad weight cut, so they had to pull that one. Which sucks because I like Gaston Bolaños. He's a fun style. But yeah, we didn't get it.
There we go. And then monies. What kind of bonuses were handed out?
Yes, let's see. What kind of bonuses did we get? Rodolfo Bellato got one, which is actually a decent fight. He was getting pieced up a little bit, and then he, boom, real quick, light heavyweight power. Got him out of there. 100K for that. Montes got one for looking like little Ilya Topuria.
Another 100K out
Robocop
there.
got one.
Oh, yeah. Well,
obviously. And then Drew Dober. Very good. And
Hey,
you know what?
Bonuses.
You know how we're always like, they pick the stupidest pictures for these bonuses. Like, show the picture from the knockout.
Yeah.
If you're not going to show the picture of the knockout, this is what you do. This is much better than like a random photo of them like throwing a kick when they won by like rear naked choke or something, you know?
True.
So shout out to them.
There we go. And that is it for UFC 326. Now, will we transition to Freedom 250? Is that what we're doing now? Boom. There it is. The Freedom 250 card headlined by Ilya Topuria and Justin Gaethje.
Yes. Co-main event. Alex Poatan Pereira versus Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight champion.
There we go.
And then the rest of the card is
Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi, Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. That's going to be a crazy first round, huh? Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dacus, Diego Lopez versus Garcia. Will, we had some hype around this card.
First off, let us know what you guys think about this. If you're watching this later, put in the comments. If you're in the live chat, let's talk about this because I want to get into it. So let us know what you guys are thinking. But yeah, Ramiro, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying, leading up to this, the hype was insane. You know, it gets thrown out there. Yeah, we actually discussed possibly having a fight at the White House. It continues building. Hey, this is really going down. We're going to put on one of the best fight cards in history, right? We have the president of the United States that's saying like 7 or 8 title fights.
No, he said 8 or 9.
8 or 9 title fights. Nobody does UFC better than the White House, right?
Yeah.
And
it's for the 250th birthday of America, but we're doing it on my birthday instead.
And then you have all this social media, and Dana White's like, we will be announcing. This card's insane. We're going to be announcing it Saturday.
It's the sphere on steroids.
So it's like boom, 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 boom. The hype just continues coming in. You can't avoid the hype, Will, leading up to. Mm-hmm. And then boom. It's announced.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Is exactly what Will was telling the fight maker.
Yeah. I texted you before because they were like, after this, we're gonna announce the card. And I said, what do we think, boys? Gaethje versus Ilya versus Gaethje / Islam with co-main of Pereira versus Cyril Gane / John Jones. And then 5 minutes later, there it is. We got it. But then I also said, what do we think? Are they going to just reveal the card, or is there going to be like a cool trailer and then reveal the card? And you were like, trailer, then reveal the card. And Dana was like, best we can do is a 10-second sizzle reel of a couple of the fighters, show a picture of the White House, and then reveal the card. You're like, what the fuck? But I think the reality is they had a trailer. They couldn't use the trailer.
Because somebody pulled out at the last minute.
Yes.
Good call.
Yes, I think the rumor is obviously they were working on John Jones versus Poatan. That was number one priority. Dana said, no, I never fucking, they asked him about it. He like snapped. You're like, whoa, chill out, dude. Sounds kind of personal now. He's like, we never, ever, ever. I told you guys, we didn't want John Jones on this card. Blah blah blah. And you're like, dude, he was
He has bad
very
hips.
deep. Yeah,
He has bad hips.
Did you not see he's got fucking arthritis in his hips? And you're like, Dana, chill out, dude. It was just a question. You could have just been like, oh no, we weren't actually talking to him. They were. They wanted. That was number one priority was Poatan versus John Jones, and then they signed Conor Benn for $15 million a fight to box. And John Jones said, if a mid-ass boxer like Conor Benn can get $15 million for one fight from my boss better go ahead and pay me at least 15 mil for my fights. And they said, what? But you're MMA. You're way more entertaining. We can't pay you that. We're not even going to make any money off this card because we can't sell tickets to it. So John Jones like, well, then fuck you guys. And then they throw him under the bus. And look, I'm no John Jones defender, but like, yeah, pay him fucking. If you're putting John Jones in a heavyweight title fight at the White House for Trump's birthday, pay the man at least $15 million. What are we talking about? If you can give Conor fucking Benn $15 million for one fight, what are we even talking about?
It's
Whatever.
crazy.
Sorry, I don't want to go off on a rant. I want you to be
No, go.
Yeah. And then we got Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, which is a banger. It's a banger fight. But at the end of the day, the only reason we're getting Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane is because they would not. I'm not going to say they couldn't make Pereira versus John Jones because they could. They just don't want to pay the money. So the only reason we're getting this fight is because they would not make that fight. And the only reason we're getting Topuria versus Gaethje is because they would not make Ilia versus Islam. That's why we're left with these scraps. Are these fights going to be good? Most likely. Could they have been better? Absolutely. And it's because of we're in this situation, so you got to make the best out of it. I get that. But we're in this situation because the UFC does not know how to matchmake anymore. They can't do it. They've lost their control over the fighters, and which for better or for worse. But at the end of the day, as a fan, we're missing out on the best versus the best. And the perfect example is Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi. I love Amin Zahabi. Watch any recap we do where we're talking about an Amin Zahabi fight. I'm all over the guy. I love him. I think he's a very interesting fighter. I think he clearly understands the game, and he's, despite some of the shortcomings physically or athletically, he has found a way to fight effectively, and I think that's very cool. How do you not do Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen? If this is supposed to be the biggest thing, what is this? How do we not do O'Malley versus Sandhagen? Would you rather watch that, or would you rather watch O'Malley versus Zahabi?
Give me O'Malley versus Sandhagen. But then it'd be American versus American, which I guess we're getting with
we don't even
Bo
have
Nickel versus Dawkins, right?
The co-main event isn't even. There's no Americans. Look, there's no American stars. Right? It shouldn't be American versus the world in this. It should, if you want to have any American spin, it should just be Americans. Get them where you can. Let's get Sandhagen on here to get another American on the card. Rufy versus Chandler, like you said, it's going to be a very first fun round, but ultimately, matchmaking-wise, it's a bullshit fight. Yeah, and the only reason that didn't happen, and the only reason we got that is because they couldn't pay Conor McGregor to fight Chandler, which is also a shit show fight. But like, what do we? Of course, we want to see that because it's a train wreck. But they couldn't pay him because they're like, we're not going to put Conor on a card that we can't sell tickets to. So we got Rufy. The next best thing, everyone's like, Rufy looks so much like Conor. Let's get Rufy versus Chandler. Meanwhile, Chandler's 100 fucking years old. We're going to watch him blow out his knees and get knocked out in front of the White House. Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins.
Every once in a while, there's hype on the card where there's a ton of fighters that are just like wanting to be on the card so bad, right? Think about like when it was like UFC 200, UFC 300, like just those iconic cards that fighters are like, I want to fight on that card.
Yeah.
How many fighters leading up to this did you not see saying, I want to be on that White House card?
Yes.
Get me on the White House card. Charles Oliveira at the end of his fight said, I'm good to be on the White House card. We have the ability to put on one of the best cards that had so much hype leading up to.
It's because all they care about,
we chose not to.
Like you said, it's a choice to do this. It's a choice. We didn't get Pereira versus Gane because they couldn't get a fight with John Jones. It's because they wouldn't get a fight with John Jones. It's the choice. Their bottom line is what matters. The cost of the events are what matters. They're already saying this is going to cost us $60 million. We're not going to make any money off of this. So how can we minimize that loss as much as possible? You know, how much is Kyle Dawkins making to be on this card? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
come on. And we'll get to you guys' comments in a second. The night before, Friday night, right? Dana posts a picture with his chain on. He's like, we're going to announce this tomorrow, guys. We got it done. And then they say, what is it? They say Friday night, he goes on a stream with Nina Drama, and he's like, no joke, we just finalized the card, and one of them just fell off. And he's like, I got to find Hunter. He's probably going to kill himself. And then, Mike Bond, he's a very good journalist. I like Mike. He's a cool guy. He posted a clip during the press conference. He recorded. He's like, I think this is the moment where they found out, where Hunter and Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby all found out that the fight fell through. And we'll play this. So shout out to Mike Bond. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter. Let me go back and full screen this.
Okay, and this is where
Hunter
they're
Campbell,
telling each other that
Shelby.
the fight is off.
He's like, man, trying to play it cool. But let me get my phone out. Mick Maynard's like, what the fuck's happening? Where's my next line of coke? He's spazzing out. He's like, he's just been negotiating with Conda this whole time, so he's on a bender. He's just fidgeting, and here's Hunter telling him. He's like, I'm still having fun, don't worry.
Oh, wow.
I mean, hilarious. Great video from Mike there.
Juice Man, shout out Juice Man. Thanks for joining us. Saying White House card boo, except Gaethje versus Ilya and Alex versus Gone.
Yeah, Bunrose says for real, Austin. I'm skipping. Austin says I'm gonna skip the way they're gonna deep throat Trump and his entire ICE regime. Okay. Look, what do we think that fight was? Who do you think fell off? Do you think it was John Jones, and that's why Dana was so bitter and crazy at that press conference when they asked about it?
I think it was John Jones, because the videos that he was posting afterwards, where did you see him where he's like laying down in bed, or he's laying down on the couch? He's like, dude, I'm so pissed off right now. Like, I'm so pissed. The only reason I think he's so pissed is because he thought he genuinely had a shot at this card. I really do.
I think he was pissed at the way Dana said he's never fighting again, because after that, once that came out, that's when he started tweeting, and he was like, "So am I being released then?" Yeah. So I think that's what that was. I'm hearing that it was Islam, that it was supposed to be Ilya versus Islam, and that fell through last minute. Gaethje's saying he didn't even know he was on the card. Kyle Dawkins is saying he didn't even know he was on the card. Diego Lopez is saying he didn't even know he was on the card. So it's like, what the fuck is going on with these matchmaking, dude? It's crazy. These guys don't even know they're on the card. They find out when they announce it.
And actually, DC had actually mentioned afterwards too. He's like, man, I was with Sean O'Malley all day yesterday. He didn't mention a single word to me about this.
Yeah.
Gaethje said, do you think O'Malley knew?
Gaethje said, I think O'Malley knew. But Gaethje said that Thursday, he as far as he knew on Thursday, he was not on this card. So like, I think all of it, and they're like, oh, we're matchmaking the White House card next week, and then halfway through the week, we're like, at the end of the week, we're gonna announce it, and you're like, are you guys doing this in like a couple days? Like, shouldn't you have been planning this for like weeks? And there's a bunch of fans who were like, well, the reason the cards this year are so bad is because they're saving all the top fighters for the White House card, and this is what we got. At what point people need to realize, and we've been saying it on the show for since the ESPN deal, the only way the UFC makes more money is by cutting the cost of the events. The only way they can continue to maximize profit and growth is by keeping the payroll low. And the way they do that, and this isn't a conspiracy theory, they just filed their fucking financials, and in their fucking financials, they talk about how because we were able to cut payroll costs and keep fighter pay lower than we did the year before, we made more money this year. They literally say it.
Ruthless, dude.
That's the strategy. And it's not like they're negotiating people down off contracts. They're letting those middle of the road fighters who may become contenders, they're letting those guys walk because they make a decent amount of money, and they're signing guys off the contender series who are going to fight for cheaper contracts. And that's what they fill these cards with. And that's why the cards fucking suck. And I mean that with no disrespect to some of these guys off the Contender Series. We just talked about Montes. He came off the Contender Series. I think he looks incredible. But it's diluting the sport to have a roster this big, full of guys who are on 10K, 12K contracts, and they're filling these cards. Kyle Daukaus cannot be making. If you're fighting on this card, you should be making at least like 100K a fight. We're only doing 6, by the way. This is the full card. There are no prelims. This is it.
By the way, don't mind the less fights.
Yeah, me neither. It's gonna be. The event's gonna be a shit show, bro. Can you imagine what the broadcast is gonna be like? If you thought it was bad in an arena they've been to for years, this setup on the White House lawn, dude, the lights are gonna be cutting. We're gonna get black screens. Like, it's gonna be crazy, dude.
Hilarious.
So keep it quick.
Hilarious. All right, well there it is, man. UFC Freedom 250. We'll see what goes down with that card.
Juice Man jumped in at the end of the stream, cracking up, dude.
Also, is that Easy on his
it's like it.
profile picture? That's legit, dude. All right, well, hey, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciate all the comments. You make the show so much better. If this is your first time tuning in, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. We're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers. We're steadily climbing. We're almost there. If you don't like watching but you like listening, there's other options, right, Will?
Yes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found if you just want the audio. Otherwise, follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, at Story the Fight on everything. And then real quick, we just had a comment from someone who wasn't on the stream before. I wasn't planning on watching, but I thought this was the main event and there would be prelims. No,
that's it. That's the card.
That's it. That's what you get. Some of those fights look like they would be pretty good prelims on the White House card. And then...
Yeah. Daukaus prelim.
Yeah.
All day.
No disrespect to Daukaus. He actually looks pretty good since he came back.
Yeah, one fight, right? Since he came
back.
He's
a great guy. Yeah.
He had one fight and they're like, put him on the White House card.
Yeah. Give him
all right. All right. I think that's all we got, right, Will?
That's all we got.
All right. Hey, shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining us. And shout out to you, Will. Thanks for holding it down in the background with no Rich. Our producer, Rich, wasn't here, but you held it down, Will. Held it down. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another week. Story of the Fight.